Let's roll. From the moment we got in the car, I knew this was going to be a good road trip. It's been about 7 years since I've been to Elliot Lake. Before we left, I was very excited to find out what had changed here. I'd been told that things had been improving here and things had been growing and infrastructure had been getting more advanced, and I couldn't wait to find out just what had happened in Elliot Lake and how much more of a snowmobile mecca it had become. Met up with our sort of local guide and tourism guru, Brad, and it was sort of his job to show us around and take us for some trail rides and let us experience all of Elliot Lake.
Elliot Lake is actually not nearly as far as people think. We're only about 5.5 or 6 hours north of Toronto. Not only that, Elliot Lake is only 2 hours from the border crossing at Sault Ste. Marie. Snowmobiling is important, as in any community in Northern Ontario, to Elliot Lake, both for the tourism value that it brings into the community, but also because it brings new people to the city. So it's a way of showcasing what we have in the city and around us for potential residents. The people of Elliot Lake are extremely welcoming to snowmobilers. I suppose it's just the way the people here are. I don't know that they go out of their way to do anything special. It's just a welcoming community all around. We're snowmobilers. So when we see snowmobilers, you know, their sleds, what they're up to, where they're riding, we just logically talk to them and enjoy what they have to say, and we like to participate in exactly what they're doing. So I guess it's just natural for people in Elliot Lake to be welcoming to snowmobilers.
We told Brad that we really wanted to go to a spot where we could get a feel for the whole town of Elliot Lake. He had a spot picked out that was just perfect for what we were looking for. He took us to this outlook up on top of this mountain, basically, that overlooked the whole town. I really got a feel for how far the town has come over the years. Where it started as just a small mining town, and how it's grown into what's really a city with every amenity you could ever possibly need. After an epic day of trail riding, Brad took us to the local museum. He wanted to give us a feel of the history of Elliot Lake.
My family moved to Elliot Lake in 1956 when I was 9 years old. We came here because there was jobs here. Elliot Lake was noted as the uranium capital of the world. It was a community that was in high production. The focus was on mining and on the community and getting this done. We had safeguards put in place at the time with the Canadian government so that it couldn't be used for nuclear bombs, but it was used for the production of energy, for energy producing plants, electricity, and also in medicine. We were the most modern community in the world. We were a design community run by the Ontario government, and everything was brand new.
They were really great paying jobs. We had well over 5,000 people working in the mining industry, but probably another 1,000 to 2,000 in the secondary industry. So as you can well imagine, the wages were out there. Everybody had all the great toys. It was just a fabulous place to be. But in the mid-1980s, the real rubber started hitting the road, if I can put it in those simple terms.
In 1990, there was a bust in Elliot Lake. We were too expensive. We were mining 2 pounds per ton, and it could be done cheaper in other locations, could be bought for less amount of money.
By the early 1990s, there were major layoffs announced. There was a real possibility at Elliot Lake, because it was designed to do one thing and one thing only, that was to produce uranium for various operations, including Ontario Hydro, that it was not going to exist. The town fathers of the day, along with many of the business people and a lot of the social activists in the community, they put their shoulders to the wheel and said, that's just not going to happen.
We were focused on things that we never needed before, such as tourism. We didn't need tourists here before because we were a self-contained community. We had everything we wanted. We didn't have to share it.
You have to learn to adjust. You have to learn to diversify. You have to learn to be open to new ideas. As you can see right now, we have one of the most vibrant communities in Northern Ontario. Our occupancy rates are at 98% in all of our units. The place is just bustling. It wasn't without problems. It wasn't without headaches. It wasn't without a whole lot of anxiety and plenty of sleepless nights. But at the end of the day, we pulled it off, and we were able to, with the assistance of the tourism industry, snowmobiling being a major component of that, we're able to make Elliot Lake something different. We were no longer a mining town.
For our second day of trail riding, we wanted to take in a little more of what the Elliot Lake trails have to offer and get a feel for some of the really unique and intimate spots out on the trail system.
Elliot Lake is at the hub of a number of loop trail opportunities, unlike any I've ever seen, and I've ridden a lot of Northern Ontario. You're always within a short ride of the next very friendly snowmobile community. It's not just about us. It's a great area of Northern Ontario and Ontario for that matter.
What I really liked about Elliot Lake was that we were here early in the season and we didn't need to worry about crossing any waters.
I think I talked to the club president one day, and he said they counted about 50 in one day and lost count. And that doesn't mean to say they don't know where their bridges are, but between the snowmobile club, the loggers, it's just a well-bridged area. What that means is you don't have to worry about crossing water, and you get an early season.
You can really tell that the trails in Elliot Lake are taken care of year-round. Everything was groomed, everything was beautiful.
Because we have a very proactive snowmobile club, they're busy. They're always doing things to improve the trails. The City of Elliot Lake financially supports the snowmobile club, the Elliot Lake Snowbirds, as well as just about every other trails group in the city. We assist them quite heavily with machinery. We rent the equipment for them so that the club, who are the experts at trail building and trail maintenance, can go out and actually make the trails better. Within Elliot Lake itself, I think the club maintains about 300 kilometers of trail. Within about 60 kilometers of the city, we probably have double that. So that's about 600-700 kilometers of trail. This is where organized ATV trails in Ontario started. We're proud of that, and the Snowmobile Club is a big reason for that.
There's tons of riding to be done around this area. Days and days worth of riding. You could be here for weeks and never ride the same trail twice, which is awesome. If you're gonna come spend your money, you wanna make sure you're getting your money's worth.
Snowmobiling became a very important industry in Elliot Lake when the mines closed, because we had to figure out different ways to replace the economy that we had. We have some of the nicest groomed trails anywhere, arguably in Canada. We have it all here in Elliot Lake, which with some of the most pristine and beautiful vistas you've ever seen.
You know, after a long day on the trail, I really just wanted to go back to our room and put my feet up and relax, but our intrepid cameraman, Matt, he was set on going into town and doing something fun. That looks like a winner. While we were in the pool hall, we met a whole bunch of interesting people, but we kind of got called out by these old guys. The one guy's name was Pasquale, and he must have been like 60 some odd years old. He's allowed to make us look bad, just not too bad. Pasquale wanted to shoot us a game of pool.
You think you have a chance?
No, not a chance. Here's the problem. These guys have been doing this for a number of years. I've been doing it for a number of minutes.
No, he's going to clean up.
Give me that thing so I can fail miserably. These are Southern Ontario rules. What's the point? Blue stuff on the stick now. This is serious times right now. This guy, he just whooped our butts at pool.
Who trained him?
I did. And I was all cocky thinking we were gonna win because we're young. No way, man, that guy had experience. We lost bad. Gentlemen. Well done. That was great. Thank you very much. Losing twice isn't great, but I guess if you're losing to guys like them, it's all right too.